This week on Cars with Big Boy Trev, we preview Kia's all-electric mini SUV, the Kia EV3, loaded with technology and practical for the urban commute. With a range of 600 kilometers, could this be the next best thing? After sliced bread,
Nice.
we analyze Kenya's love affair with the Subaru brand. For decades and counting, what makes a brand tick? Finally, we review the tough as nails Renault Duster. We check out its design, practicality, engine performance, and evaluate whether this is the best value SUV for your money. Catch this and much more on your Cars with Big Boy Trev this Sunday at 5 p.m. only on NTV. Welcome to Cars with Big Boy Trev Extra. My name is Big Boy Trev. It's all about the news and reviews from across the world. We jump straight into South Korea, where Kia have just unveiled the EV3 mini electric SUV. Now, the EV3 will come in two states of batteries. You have the larger 81.4 kWh battery with a range of 600 kilometers and a standard 58.3 kWh battery with a range of 450 kilometers. Now, both versions will have a 150 kilowatt and 283 Nm electric motor mounted on the front axle, allowing for best acceleration time from 0 to 100 in 7.5 seconds before reaching a top speed of 170 kilometers an hour. And of course, it also has an energy-efficient battery management unit and cell monitoring unit to maximize driving range. The EV3 follows Kia's opposite United design language with an overall look reminiscent of the larger EV5 and the EV9. Inside, there's a panoramic display with a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, a 5-inch climate control display unit, and a 12.3 CNNC infotainment system, matching the other new Kia models like the EV5 and EV9. Unlike the electric vehicles from brands such as Tesla and Volvo, Kia has retained its physical controls for key functions like cruise control, entertainment, navigation, drive modes, plus additional stocks and column mounted on the gear selector. Other interior highlights include configurable ambient lighting, a fallback relaxation mode for the front seats, an available 12-inch heads-up display, and a Harman Kardon audio system. Local dealer of Kia says the vehicle will arrive next year as it's a broader plan to introduce affordable and stylish electric vehicles in Kenya. Welcome to Cars with Big Boy Trev social media feedback segment. We give you the opportunity to speak of what you've seen on the show and how we can improve. CBBT. We go straight to our Facebook page, and the first person that we read on the comment is a gentleman by the name Gichuki Peter, and he says, the Kia Sorento is an amazing deal for anyone dreaming of a high-class SUV. Couldn't agree with you much more. I can tell you the Kia has the looks and of course is value-driven. We go straight to Marcus Jr., and he says, amazing how the car it looks very well and equipped with technology, style and space. But asante sana Marcus for watching. We know that the Kia is a fantastic vehicle, and Cars with Big Boy Trev will continue to endeavor to give you the latest reviews from all the brands. And finally, we have a guy called Alex Mayore, and he says, I love the episode, but still I think the X-Trail is better than the Sorento. Maybe the Sorento and RAV4 are equal, but in any way, it's worth 9.5 million Kenya shillings. Well, asante sana for your feedback, Alex. We appreciate the fact that you take your time to watch Cars with Big Boy Trev. So in case you have any questions, comments or queries, don't hesitate to write to us as seen on the social media handles below. We get back to the feedback next week. Well, it's time for us to sample the best of French engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you Renault Koleos. Stay tuned. Now this is the key to Renault's entry-level SUV. Introducing to you the Renault Duster, with prices starting from Kenya shillings 5.1. Do you reckon it's your next SUV? We take a look at the design of this particular vehicle, and I can tell you, my oh my, what has changed. Now, the Duster has been in existence for close to 20 years. They've tried to improve it to make it a very formidable workhorse and still have that je ne sais quoi because it is a French brand. So we start by taking a look at the profile as well. As you can see here, the trapezoidal design is fantastic, and of course, the plenty of chrome excerpts on the grille, on the center grille, makes this car have some good stance. I love the fact that they have that trapezoidal design, and now Renault have equipped it with daytime running lights to make it more modern, because remember the Duster was a no-frills design. And of course the lights also correspond with this particular grille. It's a V-shaped motif with a large diamond logo that represents Renault as a brand. Slated with plenty of chrome to give this car that premium look and feel. Now let's move to the side and have a look at the side design of the Renault Duster. So moving over to the side profile, the thing you notice is the fact that bulginess has gone all the way from the fender. You can see the wheel arch is actually bold. You give this car some stance, and of course right below it you have the rims. Actually very nice. They're actually diamond cut 16-inch wheels and are dressed in Conti Partner tires, 205 by 65 by 16. You have higher spec models with 17 or 18-inch, but this one is good for Kenya, good for comfort. As you move towards the passenger side, this is where you see all the magic happening. So they've actually done this LED that runs across all the door seal to the back. It also corresponds with the roof rail as well, and of course the windows, black seal as well, giving this car that subtle premium look that everybody is looking for. Again, if you move to the rear side of the vehicle, plenty of space. This particular vehicle has about 450 liters of boot space. We're going to explore that much later. And as you move towards the back, all those bulges now merge at the back to form this unique design. You have an incorporated rear spoiler, and of course you do also have this particular diamond logo representing Renault, and the Duster in chrome, showing you this car has some je ne sais quoi. And of course the plastic clip on the bumper corresponding with all those subtle highlights that I've highlighted to you earlier about it 4x4 capability. So it's time for us to take a look at the cabin space and the creature comfort of this Renault Duster. So step inside the world of the Renault Duster, and I can tell you it's all about robustness, toughness, and of course it also corresponds with the design language. And you check this particular design language by taking a look at the dashboard, and the first thing, the dashboard looks like it's full. It's been pushed further away to create space. So the Duster has been renowned to be a tough and no-nonsense vehicle, but now they've tried to soften it a bit but still retain its bushiness. So you have 4 circular vents for the AC, and of course over here you do have a resting pad where you can actually put your cell phone. But the highlight of this particular dashboard is this 7-inch color display that houses quite a number of things. So this particular vehicle can actually support Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You also have the capacity to do what number of things, vehicle dynamics. You're able to change the different parameters of the vehicle, including service and everything else that is in this particular system. Climate control also comes as standard. I like the fact that right below this particular screen, there are toggle style buttons like you're flying an F-16. So you have economy mode, which is very important, especially if our fuel prices are still high. When you press economy mode, it actually changes the mapping of the gearbox to ensure that it shifts the gears quite faster on a higher gear so that you're able to consume less fuel. You have your hazard, you have your central locking, and of course park distance control, which allows you to park effortlessly without smashing into another vehicle. Now, the vents, circular design corresponding with this particular design. So the knobs are circular. I love the fact that it's a very simple design but works. So you have your different settings. So if you want window defrost, front air to come in, or have some cooling on your legs, you're able to adjust that. You have also your rear defrost. It's a button, climate controller, AC, the speed of the vents, and of course you do have the AC circulation and temperature. Very easy to use, not too difficult, but also just gives this car some je ne sais quoi. It's a French car. I couldn't resist saying that. Now obviously right below you do have one USB port to connect to this into infotainment system, a charging USB area. This is specifically for charging your cell phone, then a 12-volt socket to charge your other devices. That comes as standard. So right below it you do have a space for your cell phone. On the higher spec models of this particular vehicle, you do have wireless charging as an optional extra. Gearbox console as well, you do have 5-speed automatic transmission. It's got manual mode. You're able to explore the full potential of that engine, and of course returning a good fuel economy figure, which you're going to explore much later. Traditional handbrake also standard. You do also have cruise control. I don't know why they put the cruise control very far away. It should have been on this particular satellite buttons, but I guess that's the French way of doing things. And then also you do have 2 cup holders where you're able to put your cup holder here and your cards and your cell phone. Now we move over to the instrument binnacle. Pretty simple and precise as well. On the left hand side you do have your analog tachometer, right hand side speedometer, and of course in between you do have that monochrome display that gives you vital information of what's happening at the engine and around the car. So it'll tell you if you are on what gear you're in, fuel level, temperature, and of course what door is open, and any critical thing that you need to do or find out what the vehicle is doing, you're able to see it right here. I like the fact that the hue of the dials is very clear. It's light blue, and with the contrasting black you can glance and see what's happening at this particular car anytime. Now, steering wheel as well, it's got that Renault design, of course, 3-spoke. The right-hand side, you do have voice control, and of course, you're able to toggle through the multimedia information. It's leather clad. It's got this stainless steel finish, giving this car, again, some je ne sais quoi. Thank you very much. Now, I love the fact that the seating is also very, very comfortable. The previous Dusters were not as comfortable as this one. The seats are supportive. You can feel the foam. You're able to feel quite comfortably. You can adjust the seats height-wise, and of course, you're able to extend it front and backwards, and also the steering wheel telescopic as well to ensure that everybody is comfortable. So my cameraman Mike can fit in this car. He can adjust the steering wheel. He's like a brief man, so you're able to adjust this one very easily. You do also have a satellite button. So Renault have a remote section here that's just underneath the wiper stock. So it's been there for years and years. I remember my aunt used to have a Renault, and it's still there. So basically, it controls the multi-information display. I love the fact that they're still retaining their tradition every time they're building new cars. That is the beauty of this particular vehicle. You do have also for the first time, because I remember the Dusters never used to have adjustable wing mirrors. So you can do that right here. I can see here they put a big button here, and you're able to adjust also the beams right here very easily. So you're able to illuminate the road as you traverse the beautiful country of Kenya. Let's move to the passenger side at the back and see how passengers would feel in this brand new Renault Duster. Subaru vehicles have become extremely popular in Kenya over the recent years for a number of reasons. In the late 80s and 90s, legendary Kenyan ace Patrick Njiru made a big impact with the Subaru Impreza and Vivio, as this Japanese hotbox chewed the Kenyan terrain effortlessly during the Safari Rally event. The rate at which Subaru developed its motorsports arm brought tears of joy to Subaru fans and brought in the legends like Colin McRae, Richard Burns, priority to drive the Rally Honda Impreza. This led to a cult following in Kenya, and the effects are still being felt 4 generations later. One of the main factors that contributed to the popularity of Subaru vehicles in Kenya is their durability. Now, Subaru vehicles are renowned for its ruggedness and ability to withstand harsh driving conditions, making them well suited to the rough roads and challenging terrain found throughout Kenya. Additionally, Subaru vehicles are built to last, with many models still being on the road well after 2 decades of use. Another reason why Subaru vehicles are popular is their versatility. Subaru vehicles are popular and have a wide range of models and configurations, including sedans, hatchbacks, SUVs, and even trucks. This means that there is a Subaru vehicle to suit the needs of almost any driver in Kenya, whether they're looking for a car for daily commuting, off-road adventures, or commercial use. Subaru vehicles are also popular in Kenya because of their reputation for safety. Subaru is known for its symmetrical all-wheel drive system, which provides superior traction and stability on road. Additionally, many Subaru models also come equipped with advanced safety features such as lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring, and automatic emergency braking, which can help prevent accidents and keep the driver and passengers safe. Additionally, Subaru vehicles are becoming popular because of the brand's reputation for innovation. Subaru is known to use cutting-edge technology, including advanced engines and transmissions. This reputation for innovation has helped to attract a younger tech-savvy generation of drivers in Kenya who are looking for vehicles that are not only reliable and versatile, but also forward-thinking and environmentally friendly. Finally, the popularity of Subaru vehicles in Kenya can also be attributed to Subaru's local distributors and dealers. These companies have worked hard to establish a strong presence in Kenyan market, offering a wide range of vehicles and services including financing, leasing, and maintenance. Subarus are an excellent choice for anyone looking for a vehicle that can withstand the rugged conditions of Kenya while providing the latest technology and safety features. It's no wonder they are becoming increasingly popular in Kenya. In the new Duster, there's plenty of space. The previous gen did not have space. This one has plenty of it, and as you can see, this particular seat was set to my height 6'1", and I can tell you I have plenty of space here. Legroom is good, headroom is fantastic. There's plenty of cubbyholes and spaces across the cabin to ensure that it remains as practical and has no frills. I love the fact that they've improved the seating. The seats were like a bench, now they're very comfortable. The foam that was used to build the seats are very supportive and actually have some curvatures to ensure that the drive in this particular Duster is very comfortable. There were no headrests in this Duster back in the day, but now you have 3 of them so the passengers can enjoy. Even the transmission tunnel is very low. You can sit 2 to 3 people quite comfortably in this particular Duster. In terms of practicality, airline style pockets are here. You can actually put your iPad there. You also have 2 cup holders for the rear passengers in case you want to sip some water. Then you're able to do that quite easily with the Duster. Now, I love the fact that despite using cloth upholstery, it's got some contrast stitching. So you can actually use very simple material, but make it look classy because they are French. So as you can see, the layout also as well, very comfortable. 3-point safety belts are standard as well, including the one at the roof over here, so that everybody in the Duster remains very safe while in this particular vehicle. Now it's time for us to move to the back and have a look at the carrying capacity of the Renault Duster. So moving over to the back side, you just press this button over here to reveal the space on this Renault Duster. It's actually quite big. I love the fact that they still retain some level of practicality. The space is fantastic. You've got about 450 liters of boot space. That's roughly 4.5 suitcases. And of course, if you're a person who loves farming and taking your car out on the weekend, you can carry sacks of potatoes, tomatoes, anything that you want to carry in comfort. And of course, you have a parcel shelf to prevent prying eyes from having a look at what you've carried. Tie-down hooks are standard as well. And of course, if you put the seats and put it flat, you have close to 700 liters of boot space. If you're somebody who's moving from point A to B, you can carry a lot of things in the Duster. Do have a charging port as well. And of course, the light to ensure that you can see everything that you're carrying at night. But it's time for us to sample the power of this particular engine and then give you value for money of the Renault Duster. So guys, you've seen the design perspective of the Renault Duster. Butch, stylish, and of course, very robust, no-nonsense vehicle. But it's time for us to feel the power of this particular vehicle. How does it handle on the road? And of course, give you value for money. So we start this particular driving review by taking a look at the DNA. What makes this Duster so unique? We start with this particular one, the chassis. Now, of course, you do know that this particular vehicle is actually modeled out of Renault Nissan's CMF chassis, which you'll probably find on the X-Trail. You'll find it also on the Qashqai and many other products. But before I dive into that, let's talk about the power of this particular vehicle. So up front, you do have a 1.5 liter petrol engine that actually produces 115 horsepower and 145 newton meters of torque. When you put your foot down, well, it's peppy. Well, it's not too bad. I mean, if you really thrash it, it will give you some go. And of course, the power is sent to the front wheels, courtesy of a 6-speed CVT transmission. You know my views on CVT, but the CVT in this particular gearbox is actually mapped to give you good fuel efficiency and of course allows you to explore the full potential of that engine and returning a fuel economy figure of 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers. You do know that fuel efficiency also depends on the load, on the speed, and many other factors, but that's just beside the point. Now, let's talk about the CMF platform. Now, the CMF platform, as I've mentioned earlier, it allows for flexibility, and of course, the chassis is actually quite stiff. It's made out of tensile steel, which makes this particular chassis very hardy. You can actually do a bit of off-roading, and of course, it's very safe while on the road. Now, suspension-wise, up front you do have McPherson struts, the standard in this particular vehicle. At the back, you have a rear torsion beam because this is front-wheel drive. On the four-wheel drive version, you do have a multi-link suspension to ensure that one, the vehicle is planted on any surface. Number two, maximum comfort for driver, passenger, and anybody else while on the road. Now, let's talk about safety. Safety is a critical element in this particular segment. So this particular vehicle has a mixture of active and passive safety features to prevent you and your family from getting harmed. Let's talk about active features. So active features include ABS, which is standard in this particular vehicle. So anti-lock braking system prevents wheel locking. So basically, during an emergency and you want to swerve, you step on the brake pedal, then what happens? The wheels don't lock. So it allows you to maneuver an obstacle so that you're able to be safe while on the road. You have electronic brake force distribution. You also have brake assist so that it gives you maximum braking power when you need it. But in case all hell breaks loose, then you can rely on the 4-star safety rated chassis and cabin to ensure that no impact energy is actually put inside the cabin to prevent harm from damaging anything in the car and harming you and your family. So that is the beauty of having this particular vehicle. I love the fact that it's complete vehicle, it's no nonsense, but gives you all the benefits of a modern crossover SUV entry level that is no nonsense, tough as nails, and of course also looks very good. But it's time for us to do value for money. Now that has been the review of the Renault Duster. Capable, stylish, and of course, absolute value for money. But the biggest question still remains, how does it fit in your lifestyle? You take a look at this particular segment of Cars with Big Boy Trev, we call it VFM, value for money. Start with the pricing. This particular Renault Duster 4x2 is sold and serviced by Caetano Kenya, and of course, the price that they're asking for is from 5.1 million Kenya shillings drive home. It comes with a 3-year, 100,000 kilometer warranty, whichever comes first. Plus, you can rely on Caetano Kenya's extensive network across the country to ensure that your Duster remains in tip-top shape wherever you are. From Mombasa, Kisumu, Eldoret, Namanga, anywhere you are, this particular Duster can be taken care of courtesy of Caetano Kenya. Now, finally, do know that this particular vehicle exists in a space where there's so much competition. What are the key rivals in this particular segment? This being an entry-level crossover/SUV. We have the likes of the Kia Seltos. Again, we also have different brands from Volkswagen. You have the T-Cross, which is also standard in this particular class, and many more that are in this game. So, do you reckon this particular vehicle has what it takes to be the king of the entry-level crossover? Let your thoughts are seen. So shut up with your handles below. Get back with the feedback next week. But signing out, this is Big Boy Trev on behalf of the team. See you next week.